Max bet time, and what a great day's racing on Saturday. Got a couple of beauties for you to rip right into and go through a couple of golden bullets. First, a little bit of housekeeping. Two things. Firstly, spring with the King Pass. What does it mean? $400 worth of value for $200. You get the whole day. Next Saturday, Everest Day, Caulfield Cup, every meeting that day. Then we head into the Geelong Cup. Then we got Cox Plate, October 25, Bendigo Cup. Then the full week, Derby Day, Cup Day, Oaks Day, Champions Day. What a great week we've had ahead of us. About 4 weeks of just pure wagering at its highest level. $200 for those 8 days, $25 a day. If you want to sign up, log into your TKZ account, go to the promo and get that for $200, save 50%. Secondly, Caulfield Guineas Day, Saturday, is free for everyone. If you haven't gone on and have a look, please do. Get on there. Free ratings, free selections, free tips, official tips, free comments, free factors, free everything for Caulfield on Saturday. So just go onto the website, not onto Wolf 10, go onto the king.zone. You can sign up for free if you haven't and check it all out. Righto, let's get into the golden bullets, the two that I'm very keen on for the day. And we're going to start with the feature race, the Caulfield Guineas, over 1,600 metres. And as you can see there, I have got Autumn Boy, a golden bullet. Let's get into why first. So there's probably 4 form lines in this race. Firstly, I'm going to go over to this screen and have a look at them. So firstly, the Golden Rose. So the Golden Rose is clearly the highest rating race from all these 4 form lines. So let's just go and have a look at, I'll go and have a look at Wotan, who ran second in this race. So Wotan had a rating of 95 there for this race. The other form lines, so there's 4 different form lines. The next one's the Westers Swindon Stud Stakes at the Valley, which Vinrock was not tragedy beaten or anything, but absolutely forgive run. But you can see the 88. So we had Wotan, who ran second on 95. Westers Swindon, who got a slow time in front, a pretty easy time in front. 88, so 7 points below where the Golden Rose second place getter of Wotan was. Then we go into the Prelude. So Planet Red finished second in the Prelude. Way back on 80. So that's a huge gap. That rated really low. They went really slow in front, but that's a really low rating race, that Caulfield Guineas Prelude. And then we've got a horse that there was a bit of money for, and I'll come back to this horse, why I don't like Navy Pilot in particular. But let's just have a look at that rating, because there's a couple coming out of that race. And there's a pretty high rating race, 89 overall, over 1,400. Not a high class race. Let's just have a look at the class of that race from my race strength. So the race strength had it as 84, going up to 89, 95 for the actual class, going up to 103.5. But rated pretty well on 89. So actually that race is the second highest rating race behind the Golden Rose. But as you can see there, the Golden Rose is 6 rating points higher. That's with Wotan, who ran second. Then that race that Navy Pilot was in at Sandown. Now there's 4 horses coming out of that race. So for me, that's the winner will come out of that race according to my numbers. So what's in that race is Nepotism, who finished well back, probably suited better over 1,600, but just not going nearly as well. What else is in that race is obviously Autumn Boy. We've also got sorry, what am I doing? Well, it seems like it's up the top. Sorry, Rivellino and Wotan. Rivellino, Wotan, Nepotism, and Autumn Boy, 4 horses coming out of that race. Let's go and have a look at that. Let's go and have a look at that race, the replay of this race, which is here. Now, Wotan's drawn barrier 1, and this is I'm just going to pause it here. So this is Autumn Boy here. I'm not going to look at the other 2, Rivellino and Nepotism, because they're dropped out and don't really run on. They can improve, but they're going to get back again at Caulfield. So I'm against them on Saturday, because I think it'll be hard to make ground there, especially if you're not on the fence. So this is Wotan. So I backed I was on Wotan in this race. I nearly backed Bayvakt and I didn't, unfortunately, but I definitely thought Bayvakt had a good chance. If you remember, I was against Tempted. A query I thought of running a strong 1400. But so Wotan's drawn 1. Autumn Boy's drawn out here in 7 for Jason Collett. James is on Autumn Boy, and you can see the difference the barrier makes there. And Autumn Boy goes to barrier 1 on Saturday. Wotan's in 10 at the moment, might come into 8 or 9, depending on scratchings, probably 8. But as you can see, I'm just going to pause it here again. You can see the winner's got out in front off a, not a super fast tempo or anything like that. And Wotan's getting a beautiful run for James here, back 4th fence. And you can see Autumn Boy 3 wide. Now, look how much extra ground with no cover that Autumn Boy is covering compared to Wotan. Now, I'm just going to fast forward it a little bit here. And as you can see him coming up to the turn, Wotan's getting that beautiful suck running behind him. Have a look how wide Autumn Boy has to go here for Jason Collett. So in lengths, how many horses are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 horses off and no cover into a breeze, which is Rosehill. It's very hard to come down that crown of the track there where it's 5 or 6 off. And as you can see, Wotan tracks up behind and beats Autumn Boy. I'm not interested in the leader here. I'm interested in these 2 horses. Autumn Boy doesn't particularly run on, but gets beat probably, 2.5, 3 lengths by Wotan. But this is a different race on Saturday. So let's go back over to the TKZ site and dissect why I like Autumn Boy as opposed, because you might look at that run and say, Wotan's beaten Autumn Boy, by that 3-length margin. What's going to turn it around? Well, there's a few things I think that are going to turn the tables around here. So as you can see, let's get down. As you can see, I've got Autumn Boy. I've got Wotan second pick. I'm not against Wotan. I just think Autumn Boy should be favoured in this race. I'm against all those horses coming out of it, in particular the Moonee Valley race and the Prelude race. So let's have a look at the race pressure. Race pressure, I'm predicting. A lot of people don't think this is going to be a fast run race. I think it will be a fairly fast run race because you've got those horses drawn out wide. Vinrock, Wester Swindon, who are drawn wide and going to go forward from those wide alleys and try and get across. So I think it's going to suit a horse like Autumn Boy, who has drawn 1. It's also going to suit Nepotism, who's coming out of that Golden Rose. Wotan's an interesting one. So sat 3rd fence there, but I imagine Wotan from 8's not going to get into a speed battle and will probably sit 5th, 6th, 7th, I would think, Wotan, just off the pace behind that speed battle, especially over 1,600 metres. There's no way Waller's going to say go forward and get involved early. So class speed weight rating, 93 for Wotan, top, Rivellino 2nd, then Autumn Boy 3rd on 89. Cam, Autumn Boy on 98, and that'd be because of acceleration from Wotan. Race strength, these 3 horses coming out of the Golden Rose, which is clearly the best race strength or class metric to look at for this race. And when you're looking at Group 1 races, this is very important to find these horses who have been there before and done it at that level. Not that Autumn Boy has done it at that level because he failed in the Golden Rose, but he has performed well at higher class races in the past. Let's not as high as this, but he went well up in Brizzy, and then first up he went well as well, which is higher class than those Melbourne races. Let's get down and have a look at the form factors, and then what I want to have a look here actually is which I spoke about briefly before, is Navy Pilot. So you'll notice that Navy Pilot's got a CAM score of 85. Let's go and have a look why. Cruising's probably about right on that 89 mark, and acceleration for Navy Pilot is 81. You can see Autumn Boys there on a 104. So Navy Pilot came home pretty well last up, but let's go and have a look at why we've only got Navy Pilot as an 81 acceleration when we've got him at an 89 cruising. So if we go back over here and click on this old screen that I used to use, you can see, if we scroll across, you can see that, so 89. So we're expecting him to do 89. That's less. That's less. But if you go back to these figures here, where he has done around that mark, you can see that his acceleration wasn't that good. Yes, he has improved, but this was off a slower tempo. So in faster tempo races, which are these two, which he's going to be in. So let's just scroll back over here and have a look. He's done well in slow tempo races. So very slow he won, below average he won, very slow he ran second. Faster tempo races, 1,500 metres at Eagle Farm. He ran third. Solid ran ninth, failed there at Randwick at his second start. And also Solid at Eagle Farm over 1,600 metres. He ran seventh. So his best runs have been off slow tempos, and he's failed to accelerate to any decent level off the tempo that he is going to have to run on Saturday. So that is why he gets marked down for Cam. I'm not saying Navy Pilot can't win. I think I have him in as third pick. Let's have a look. This little robot I'm running there on Betfair. Let's have a look at Navy Pilot on the King Zone. So Navy Pilot, yeah, I've got him in as third pick. So I'm not saying he can't win at all, but that's why he's marked down. But he's been very well backed, and I'll just show you on dynamic odds. I've got all my stuff messed up across the top here, but let me go and have a look at on dynamic odds of these fluctuations, because he's been really well backed. Navy Pilot, there was a lot of smart money for him, I think, this morning. So what are we? Caulfield race 8. Let's just go and have a look at that. The betting. So 480 Oldham Boy. I think that's a terrific price, with Ladbrokes leading the way at 480. But I just want to show you Navy Pilot. So he was $12 they put up, and he got smashed at 7.10 last night, $9 into $7, and has been backed again at around 4 o'clock this afternoon. He did $6. So he's by far the best backed. There's also been good money for Nepotism, who's been $19 into 13 with the tab and 19 into 15 with Ladbrokes. There's also been good money for Wotan, 460 into 350 with Ladbrokes. You can get 390 with Boombet. Still 440 on Betfair, so I'm suggesting that price will ease back out. I was thinking Autumn Boy might firm up. He has a little bit today, 460 to 420 with Tab. A few of them have gone off at 460, but Ladbrokes obviously very keen to lay Autumn Boy. They're sitting out there at $4, 480. But the best back runners, Wotan, Navy Pilot, and also Nepotism. All right, let's get back over to the King Zone site and just have a look. So we've gone through the cruising. You can see there. You can see there the acceleration. Sorry, you can see there that Autumn Boy with 104 has by far the best acceleration number and can sit closer from barrier 1. Let's just get into this market. Rivellino, $35. Not sure going well enough, even though coming out of the Golden Rose. Wotan, I've got marked $4.60. Definite chance, but just unders for mine. Barrier 1 last time to barrier 10 probably comes into 8. James does ride again. Query at the 1,600. Not saying he won't get 1,600, but never been past 1,400, and just doesn't really look a 1,600 metre horse on paper, but may get it. Is fitted for 3 runs back. Definite chance, but unders for me. I'm only backing one horse in this race. Vinrock, I got $14, who was, I'm not going to say unlucky, just over raced and nothing went right at Moonee Valley. Barrier's a bit tricky. He's going to have to get used up from 14 and possibly just try and cross and lead. I'm interested to see what their plan will be with Vinrock. Nepotism, I think's a chance, but has been well backed. Negative run style, I think's probably under the odds now at $14, $15. Could definitely place chance, but from 12 is going to have to go right back and run on. Very much track dependent. I think that map is against nepotism. I think it'll be an on-speed day. Inside barriers on speed. The go there at Caulfield on Saturday, I think, based on the last 2 years on Caulfield Guineas Day. West of Swindon got it easy in front. Last time at the Valley, now draws 16. That's why you're seeing $15. That's why I've got marked longer at $20. Faces more pressure, going to have to go forward. Vegas for luck, I couldn't be on. High vol, I couldn't be on at the odds. Navy Pilot was spoken about, keeps improving, but he's pretty well found there at $5.56 now when you're talking about horses coming out of Golden Roses that are $4.80. Barrier 2, I think, will be an advantage. Definite chance, but just no value. Autumn Boy, we've spoken about. Obvious class edge. The other thing I haven't spoken about is this is his grand final, and I really like this. He's been set for this race by Chris Waller, and I think Chris has got an amazing record when he's peaking horses on the day. He's obviously a master trainer. He knows how to peak them and prepare them for their grand finals. And I think this race is obviously Autumn Boy's grand final. The Autumn Sun, his dad, won this race as well. So the extra 200 to 1600, I think, really suits him down to the ground. And I think marked him 340. He can get 480. I think that's a good price, 480. I don't think he'll start that. And then we go down to these roughies. I won't go through them all. The only one I thought was a little bit of overs was down the bottom here. And First Emergency, Sentu Cavati. Hit the line really well, running third behind the horse that they've smashed in betting, Navy Pilot. Does go up a little bit in weight, but I think will be suited at 1,600 metres and can sneak home for a place there. So if you're looking for a roughie, I thought Sentu Cavati was a definite chance. So that's it, Caulfield Guineas. I'm really, really confident on Autumn Boy. I will be betting up. Let's move on and head over to Rosehill, where I like a horse in race 2. So that's race 8, Kovalika, which I spoke about on the Saturday set. We won't go through that. I was against Lindemann in that race. We're going to have a look at Modella in this race. I'm really, really keen on Modella. And have a look at this. I've never seen this before, but if we go to the race analysis, gold, gold, gold. We've got gold for race pressure with Modella. There's a lot of pace on paper here, and Modella will settle midfield to worse than midfield and be charging home. CSW, rank 1 there as well. Bullet price, I've marked Modella $2.30. Ladbrokes are leading the way at $3.30 at the moment, which I think is a fantastic price. Cam there, you can see 93. And a big gap, a 7-point gap to Strawberry Impact, who I do have at my second pick. Then we get to form factors. Modella's got a heap of them. Race strength as well. Now, this is an interesting one because there's quite a big gap in race strength here as well. Modella, Strawberry Impact, and then a bit of 3-point gap down to Direct Fire, and it really falls away. So Modella coming out of a Group 2 is by far and away the class horse in the race, according to my figures. So let's get down and have a look at the market here. There you got your class speed weight ratings. You've got your cam ratings here, which you can see 93. Let's just have a look at the acceleration. Acceleration, Modella. We saw Autumn Boy with a fast acceleration, but look at that, 103 compared to Strawberry Impact, who I've got second pick on 88. And off a very fast tempo, Modella's going to be charging, hopefully over the top of them late, over 1,400 metres third up. Let's just go through and have a look at my bullet prices. So these bullet prices are my marked prices or my assessed prices. The current assessed price for Alabama State's $8.50 against a live price of $4.80. I wasn't that impressed by Alabama State's last start. I thought the better run in the race was V12, who couldn't get out. I think V12's every chance of beating Alabama State home in this race. $10 against $8.50, $7.50 against $4.80. A bit of the live price is merged in, probably 25% merged into the bullet price. So what that means is if say V12 was $5, you would see V12's bullet price be shorter than $10. It might be $8 or something like that. But V12 couldn't get out, was held up in the straight there. And I think would have beaten Alabama State home in that race with any more luck. I'm not going to go into every runner in this race. I just want to have a look at Modella for the moment and also the second pick. So let's go over to the screen and just have a look at Modella's ratings and compare to Alabama State. So that's Autumn Boy. We've done that one. Let's go and have a look at Modella. So where are we on Saturday? Race 2. We'll go and have a look at Modella. I just want to have a look at these ratings because Modella drew. So this is Modella first up at over 1200, probably a bit short the 1200. Got wide off a very slow tempo. This was a big run first up. Wide off a very slow tempo and wide barrier draw. Got back and came home. Drew wide again, went back. This is a Group 2 race. And as you can see here, race strength 92 down to 85, 103 down to 97. So Modella was out of his depth here. Ran 7th, got beat 3.4 lengths. Now third up, Fitter, goes to 1400. But what I want to point out here are these 2 peak ratings. No other horse in this field has got ratings like these, 88s and 89s here. Let's go and have a look at the toppy, Alabama State, who has very consistent ratings. So 82 is 85 is the peak rating here, over 1200. 82, 1400 meters Rosehill, which is the same scenario and the same race strength. So in the same race strength, back here, won at Rosehill, but only did an 82. Hasn't really got to did an 85, but that was 60 to 1, ran 8th. So Modella has those higher peak ratings and has more upside, I think, than the rest of the fields. Only had 7 starts to Alabama's, 12, 13, 14 starts. V12's in the market there as well. As you can see, V12's peak ratings are around 82. So can these horses go to the next level? Alabama's also carrying 60 kilos. V12's up in the weights. Modella's on about 57. The other horse I want to have a look at, who I thought the danger was a bit unlucky last start, was Strawberry Impact at Hawkesbury. Should have nearly won that race. 76, going from 15 back to 14. Only has peak ratings of 84, 85, so still is off where Modella is at. So that's why Modella ticks so many boxes there. Let's get back over here. Just ticks all the boxes, as we saw back in the race analysis. Ticks all the boxes and an upside factor. Trained at the track, which horses can often improve as well, and gets the pace on up front. So everything points towards Modella being the best bet of the day for me anywhere across the country at the moment. Strawberry Impact gets a weight drop, gets to 1400, which I think suits. Sat wide last start, but is going up. So we see this low strength rating, whereas you're coming to horses who have been, racing in group races. So this is a harder race for Strawberry Impact. I'm surprised that there's $3.30 on offer about Modella considering all this. I'm very, very confident not only about Modella, but about the whole day on Saturday. I think it looks a great day across the country. So that's about it. There's my 2 max bets. They're genuine max bets. I'm going to go hard at them both. Jump on, get Caulfield for free on Saturday if you haven't. Stay in the game, stay in the zone, but more importantly, go beat your bookie on Saturday.
Think, is this a bet you really want to place? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.